And we are live here at Dixon Field on the sports complex of Queens University of Charlotte. I'm Hunter Banks, and joining me is former Charlotte Eagle player, coach, and now technical director for the Charlotte Soccer Academy, Patrick Dacca. Good to have you here, Patrick.
Good to be here, as usual.
Gonna run through the starting lineups. First for Wilmington in goal on loan from Toronto FC, 19-year-old Quillian Roberts. In defense, Yahya Musa, Ashani Fairclaw, Christian Davidson, Drew Ruggles. In midfield, Tom Parrott, Troy Cole, Paul Nicholson, Will Heaney, and the forwards are Stephen Miller and Brian Ackley. And the starters for the Eagles in goal on loan from the Chicago Fire, Alec Can. The defense, Johnny Leathers, Bilal Duckett, J.J. Greer, Ben Noonan. Midfield, Fred Sacheri, Drew Yates, Juan Guzman. And the forwards are Jorge Herrera, Wells Thompson, and Darren Toby.
And now, starting for your Charlotte Eagles.
What do you see with the 4-3-3 versus 4-4-2 matchup?
It looks to me like the Eagles are saying we're going to go out and attack as much as we can. They got Darren Toby up front. Darren Toby is good at holding possession. Then you have Jorge and Thompson Wells on either side. And they're going to give you some speed and service and one-on-one situations. Running off of Darren Toby. Then you got the skillful midfield of Guzman, Yates, and Drew Yates and Fred. That's a very, very attacking-minded group there. Guzman is probably going to sit more and have Newman and Fred attack a little bit more. Fred is like the box-to-box player. Drew Yates will probably stay up higher a little bit more and be as close as he can to Darren Toby, run off of him. So, and Wilmington is in a 4-4-2. They're probably saying, you know what, we're just going to pick it in, park a bus in front of the goal, and hit Charlotte Eagles on the break. They've got two fast strikers and two fast outside midfielders they will be relying on for that counter-attack. So, yeah, should be interesting.
Interesting to note, Matt Gold not in the starting lineup tonight for the Eagles. He has been replaced lately by J.J. Greer, who's come on strong midway through the season. Also to note is David Estrada on loan from Seattle Sounders, not on the roster tonight, not dressing out. But should be a interesting match. Always fun when these two teams get together.
Yes.
Always a heated game.
Always from way back. And then here we go.
Guzman trying to feed it over to Wells Thompson. And Leathers. That's going to be out off of Drew Ruggles for the Eagles throw-in. Fred. Toby called in an offside position. Quickly taken. Guzman trying to thread his way through. Goes back to Roberts. Booms it out of danger, but out of play for the Eagles throw-in.
Already number 12, Stephen Miller, is always dropping back into midfield, so leaving up Brian by himself up top. So Miller will always look to help out in the midfield because Eagles have three guys in the midfield, and then as soon as we win possession, they win possession, is up there supporting Miller up top. So it's basically really a 4-5-1 Wilmington are line up at.
That's going to go out for a corner kick as Jorge Herrera and Drew Yates are going to trot over to talk things through. They've been known to play it short to Yates. in a very complicated set piece. He'll find Guzman coming from the goal, and then he'll find Herrera. But they decide not to as Herrera curls this in.
Ooh.
Roberts gets a hand on it, and it's going to be another corner. Going to flip sides and do it again.
An important touch by the goalkeeper right there. It was a great service by Jorge.
Herrera with Yates, Duckett, and Fred all in the box. Curls it in.
Oof.
And that was J.J. Greer who got a boot on it, but was unable to do anything. This is going to go out for the Hammerheads throw in.
The Eagles know right now it's important for them to get that early goal, that quick goal, before Hammerheads settle into this game. The longer this game drags, the more comfortable the Hammerheads get. And that poses a very difficult situation for the Eagles, and they try to avoid that as much as they can.
As you see Can with the clearance.
That's going to be a long throw in. Everybody gets in the box.
Long throw in. Into the box. And over. Good service there to connect with, look like Stephen Miller. Excuse me, that was Brian Ackley.
Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/CharlotteEagles. Subscribe to our YouTube page at youtube.com/CharlotteEaglesSC.
Can sends the goal kick. Ruggles into Miller. Miller fouled by Fred. Musa. Parrott playing it back to Musa. And he tried to curl it in, but it's off of Jorge Herrera for the corner.
Musa will be the guy to watch on his side, on the right flank. He likes to go forward. He'll always be looking for those gaps that he can run in behind the outside midfielder and attack, putting crosses in. That slip could be costly.
It's a lot like Ben Noonan for the Eagles.
Yes, correct. A lot of speed and understands the channels. Good technically, he can deliver a killer ball.
Trying to play this forward to Heaney. Will Heaney, another Toronto FC loanee. He's had 2 goals this year in 6 appearances. And now Fred looking to distribute. Switches it up, goes over to Noonan. Noonan trying to thread it through to Yates. And it's actually going to be a foul called on Drew Yates.
Drew had his hands wrapped all around the defender there, trying to get around him. It's a great pass by Noonan.
Robert sends this one in. Fred went up and came down a little hurt, grabbing his hip. Looks fine now.
Said something to the ref there.
Nicholson all the way back to Davidson.
Again, you see Musa pushed up high. He's waiting for that diagonal ball, that diagonal switch.
It's going to be off of Heaney for the Eagles throw in. Johnny Leathers, the former Vancouver Whitecaps man, going to take it. Playing it back to Fairclaw. And now Musa. Playing it up to Miller. Miller battling with Duckett. And Duckett with a great still out to win the goal kick there.
Right.
Miller not happy, saying his jersey was being pulled.
That matchup is always going to be a physical matchup. And they're still exchanging words.
Can booms this one. Toby just barely getting his head on. Now Toby with it at his feet. Back to Guzman. Over to Leathers. Guzman. Leathers. And Ruggles comes away with it. Miller.
And there goes
Parrott.
It must be burning out there. I was just on that field. It was hot.
Now the Eagles had a alumni game before tonight's matchup with Wilmington.
Yes. And we started off really good. Within 10 minutes, we were all spent. It was toasting on the field. Just the heat on the turf, shoes burning. So some kind of feel for those players out on the field, but they have to keep their legs moving. As Wilmington right now starts keeping possession and moving the ball side to side, making the Eagles chase the ball a little bit.
As you can see, Davidson moving up, connecting with Ackley. Musa giving it up to Parrott. Back to Heaney. And back to Fairclaw.
It's patient in their build up. The Eagles just staying organized behind the ball. That's what the Wilmington are waiting for, just a little sleep. And now the Eagles on the counter-attack.
Jorge Herrera was wide open a few moments earlier. Wells Thompson unable to see him. That's going to be a foul just outside the box for the foul on Drew Yates.
Free kick on the way here, Charlotte Goals.
Duckett's going to come forward, try to get a head on the ball.
The Hammerheads will be vulnerable on that counter-attack. So the more they hold possession, try to get everybody in the attack. They're leaving two guys in the back. Eagles win possession, and you'll see a good example of that is a fast break. And with Jorge and Drew Yates and all those guys up top, they will break that defense down quickly. But they just have to move the ball quickly.
Ooh. Jorge curling it up and over the wall, but off of the crossbar. Quillian Roberts taking his time, letting his team set up. Looking for Ruggles. Heaney trying to track it down, but Heaney's unable. Excuse me, that's Ackley. Ackley unable to keep it in. For score, stats, news, and more, everything you could possibly want to know about USL Pro, it's all online at uslprosoccer.com. Like the USL Pro fan page on Facebook, facebook.com/USLPro. And make sure to follow at USL Pro on Twitter for all the latest updates. And speaking of Twitter, follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information, because Nike is a proud sponsor of USL Pro. Wells Thompson and Haney battling. Now Noonan.
Yeah, just a quick question. There's a bunch of kids up here who have a table who I think is selling all kinds of like little pumpkins. Do you know about that? Yeah.
All the way back to Roberts. Now Parrott trying to feed it in. And that shot wide. Can diving, but realizing it was going to go wide.
The Hammerheads right now seem to be missing really the services of Jordan Hamilton, their top goal scorer, with 5 goals and 2 assists, 12 points, and then missing also Samuel Ochoa, the second top goal scorer, with 4 goals and 5 assists. On the Eagles side, and they still have Jorge Herrera on the field with 5 goals, but they need more people stepping up and scoring goals. Definitely good news for the Eagles, but they have got to get the job done today without those 2 guys.
Looks like Drew Ruggles is going to take the free kick. Leathers coming out on top. Trying to chip it forward to Guzman, who ended up getting an elbow to the chest from Drew Ruggles. Referee having a conversation with Ruggles and Guzman. A little surprised not to see a card given there. That was a very unnecessary move, very rough. All the way back to Fairclaw. He plays it forward to Ackley, now over to Parrott. Musa. Switches it up. Goes over to Ruggles. Ruggles unable to keep control. Going to be an Eagles throw in. All the way back to Fairclaw.
Our expert staff of doctors and PAs ready to treat your entire family. Learn more about our hours and locations at www.orthocarolina.com/urgent-care.
Ruggles, Miller, Ackley. Now Ruggles. And all the way back to Roberts. Roberts sending this one forward, connecting with Ackley. Parrott now. It's going to be Noonan with the tackle out of bounds. Hammers throw in. All the way back to Roberts. J.J. Greer going back to Can.
Not much in terms of goalmouth activity in this game. We're approaching the 90th. We're in the 19th minute now, approaching the 20th minute. No shots on target. Nothing in front of goal. None of the goalkeepers have been put to use. But just a couple of things here. The Hammerheads having Musa Yahaya and Brian Ackley as their key players in this game. Brian Ackley obviously winning all the high balls and going in for aerial set balls. Musa Yahaya, athletic, quick, technical, can spread big, accurate diagonal ball. Eagles, they need to get Fred more on the ball and get Jorge involved as much.
That's Troy Cole being presented with a yellow card there.
Is that his second? That's his second offense, isn't it? He's still arguing it.
Is currently offering summer deals on their exclusive performance fitness program for adults and youth athletes.
Back to Greer.
Visit www.performanceu.com.
Parrott and Noonan battling. Noonan, bad first touch. And over to Ruggles for Wilmington. Now Davidson. Toby playing it over to Herrera, Leathers. Leathers takes the throw in back to Greer. Now Fred. And Duckett. Noonan. Herrera. Herrera loses it away. Now Musa. Haney. Hammerheads. Not going for the counter. Going to set it up. Ruggles trying to feed it up top. But Not the most
Ooh.
accurate pass and a bad play back. Noonan with the bad back pass to Alec Can, forcing Can to come up and make the slide tackle / slide kick.
Nunam has to thank Alec on that one. He's going to owe him lunch.
Absolutely.
You can see the intention, get the ball, play it back to the goalkeeper, open up and play again, but that pass was just so soft.
Musa. Fairclaw back to Roberts. He clears it. Guzman, Fred. Wilmington players screaming for a handball. Referee indicating that it wasn't, as that's a beautiful through pass. Wells holds up. Ruggles gets there. Yates is screaming on the opposite side of the box for the ball.
Just put that ball across one time and Yates is in.
And now Drew Ruggles on the counter. Hammerheads counter.
What a ball though from Fred. Getting behind Hammerhead. But that ball just needed one touch across the goal mouth on the floor, and it's an easy tap in for Drew. No call.
Fred looked like he was expecting a call. Now playing it over to Musa.
Nike is a proud sponsor of USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information.
Over to Leathers. That's going to be an Eagles throw in. It was off of Troy Cole. Wells Thompson trotting over to take it. Duck it again, moving forward. Trying to pose a threat. Yates, Noonan with a shot, and it finds the back of the net. Ben Noonan. On a beautiful set piece, throw in. Yates tracks back, manages to find Noonan. Noonan dribbles and slots it home past Quillian Roberts.
It's a well-taken goal. But again, Darren Toby's persistence with high balls. Won the first header, was blocked, went in back again for the second header. And a nice little touch to Noonan. And what a goal. What a goal it was. Fantastic.
The perfect start for the Eagles. They needed to get an early lead.
This game needed something. It needed a goal. It needed something to put it to life. Now let's see how Hammerheads respond and how the Eagles maintain their lead and try to add on to it. Coach Stephens always say to us that the first 5 minutes after every goal is the most important. You can't fall asleep.
Heaney playing it in. Fairclaw. And Can coming off his line to corral it. Quickly distributes over to Wells Thompson.
Duckett running a little gingerly there. Must have gotten a knock on that tackle in the last play. Shakes it off. I think he's fine.
Back to Duckett.
Ooh.
And that's going to be a foul on Duckett for high kick, and he's likely going to be given a yellow card.
Question is, did he catch him? The boot was clearly high, dangerous play. But did he catch him? I didn't quite see.
I feel like I'm almost positive I heard it make contact.
Contact. The ref consulting with the linesman.
Duckett
just got lucky on this one.
Yes. Because
he's a lucky man.
He knows he got away with one.
He got away with one, but the ref has got his number now.
Yep.
The next offense might be trouble for him.
As Heaney curls this one in.
It's a brilliant ball.
Now Guzman chipping it forward out of danger.
Again, it's those 5 minutes, right? They just had 2 chances in those 5 minutes after the Eagles go. The Eagles just need to maintain their composure and defend very well. Stay organized, stay engaged, stay focused. Don't give up anything silly. So Wilmington are putting together a response right here. Where was this crowd before? Now the crowd is there. That goal certainly woke up the fans, and the Eagles needed that. The 12th man, always important.
Now Stephen Miller, Ackley, Heaney shot well wide for the goal kick.
Every USL Pro regular season and playoff games is live on YouTube in 2014. Features include DVR, chat, and social media.
I like that the cameraman is right next to the goal. Everything you teach kids not to do. Could be a dangerous spot there with some of the shots these guys hit. Setting up his camera, he's walking away. It's good.
Faircloth playing it forward to Miller. Duckett's going to let it go out for the Eagles throw in.
Ooh.
Now all the way back to the Wilmington back line. Now Musa. Heaney. Going away by Guzman. And Can with the clearance. And back to Davidson. Ruggles.
The Hammerheads enjoying the majority of possession right here. The Eagles doing a lot more chasing. When they win possession, they need to hold it a little bit because there's nothing more tiring than chasing. Possess. Allow your teammates to come up and support. Give everybody a breather. But as long as they hit those long balls, it's always going to come back down to their throat. Now they have to get organized again and defend. Takes a lot more energy.
Greer clearing. Now back to Can.
Proactive chiropractic is the name the Eagles trust for their chiropractic needs. His 14 years of experience, including the active release technique, take you back to what you love to do quicker. Visit www.proactivematthews.com for more details.
Can playing it short to Duggett. Now Guzman crossing over for Leathers. Leathers feeding it to Thompson. Back to Leathers. He crosses it in looking for Drew Yates. And it's going to be out for the Eagles throw in.
That was a dangerous cross. That was a great ball. And you had Darren Toby and Drew Yates running in. Drew Yates misses it. Darren Toby was there right behind him. You had Hore just hanging out behind him. Anything on the top of the 6-yard box, he would have gotten it. That was a dangerous ball. It was a good ball.
Thompson with this long throw in. Ruggles heads it out for another throw in. Now Toby. Curled in. Musa heading it out. And now Juan Guzman taking the long range shot. That's going to be a corner kick for the Eagles.
Eagles asking all the right questions right now. Taking the game to the Hammerhead. That midfield advantage, the numerical number advantage in midfield is paying dividends for the Eagles. The more they can hold possession, the more they can create.
Herrera curls this one in. Is headed out by Fairclaw. Guzman getting there, going back to Herrera. Now Guzman. Greer. And it's going to be no trouble for Quillian Roberts.
That was a little ambitious. It was way far out.
Trying to feed it forward, but it's going to find its way to Quillian Roberts. Now Fairclaw for the Hammerheads.
Both teams try not to play pressing games. See how the Eagles are patient on defense. Let the Hammerheads build up from the back. Just drop to the top of the 18-yard box. Your line of confrontation. Everybody knows where to start their defense from. It's a hard day. Let the ball do the running when you win possession.
And Musa crossing it in, trying to find Miller. But it's going to be beyond the touchline for the goal kick.
The ball boy struggling to throw that ball over the head. Over the net.
Merchant Services, the official payment processor of the Charlotte Eagles. Find him on the web at www.collegiatems.com.
Can sending this one in. Ruggles winning the aerial battle. Greer winning that away. And Sacheri being dispossessed. Now Cole moving forward. Parrott. Being forward.
Handball.
And that's going to be a foul called on Wilmington. That was Brian Ackley with the foul on Bilal Duckett.
Not sure why Parrott is having a go at the assistant referee there. That was a clear handball. Ackley definitely was falling, lost his balance in that tussle, and as he was falling, his arm was up before hit his hand. And Parrott is still going on at the referee.
Now Wells Thompson crossing it, but right to Christian Davidson. Good positioning from the Wilmington defender. Sacheri going all the way back to Duckett. Over to Leathers. Leathers and Miller battling. Going to be a throw in for the Hammerheads.
The Eagles, I may be looking at that in the second half, probably at halftime. The coaches will be talking about how much success they've been getting on the right flank, attacking Drew Ruggles, number 16. Three times they've gotten in behind him. Second half might be the tactic. Try to get in behind him as much as possible, attack him, because he seems to be the side they prefer right now.
That's poked out by Newnham. Now Herrera. Thompson dancing around. Back to Guzman. The firm is in attendance tonight, the Hammerhead supporters group. And they're also representing their MLS affiliate with the Canadian flag planted firmly beside the Hammerhead flag.
That's right. Where's the drum, though? Where's the drum? They always bring a drum. I don't hear a drum beat. I thought I saw one.
I think I see one, and I think I saw a second one. They're just giving the Charlotte fans a break from the drum.
They love their team.
Love the passion that Wilmington and the Charleston fans always bring when they visit Charlotte.
Yeah, so there it is.
Now Fairclough for Wilmington.
The Eagles content with the Hammerheads holding possession. As long as in their own half, they cannot do harm to the Eagles. The Eagles are happy going at the halftime to the halftime break with the 1-0 lead. The Hammerheads probably want to get something before the halftime. Makes the second half a little bit more interesting.
Heaney, Miller, Ackley. Playing it back. Now over to Ruggles. Back to Cole. Nicholson. Fairclough, Musa. Musso crossing in, looking for Ackley. And now Miller with a shot right into the arms of Alec Can.
Again, it's that man, Brian Ackley, getting a knockdown. Anything in the air is going to try and win it.
Guzman poked out by Fairclaw. Miller with a bad pass. Now Leathers for the Eagles. Over to Thompson. Thompson goes all the way back to Greer. Now into Guzman and Noonan. Herrera, the flick to Noonan. Noonan with a nice flick to Yates. Now Fred. And nice shield from Musa to keep Noonan from being able to get on that ball and possibly get his second goal of the game.
It's a pretty good sequence of movement and passing there. It's a combination, the movement of the ball. Just needed that quality at the end.
Brian Ackley and Duckett racing to get there. Ackley managing to momentarily get past Duckett. And
Duckett has to be careful with those hands on the jersey, on the shirt. And Brian Ackley is making sure that the ref knows too.
Will Heaney over to take the corner. And it's in.
Offside.
Parrott's going to be offside.
Position. Seems to have a player on the ground there from the tackle by Jorge.
Ref holds up on Cans. Goal kick. That's Ackley.
Ackley went in for a tackle, and I think Jorge just had his foot just slightly above him in that tackle. Maybe he needs to roll his shin guards.
I was going to say, got his shin guards turned around.
Yeah, maybe they need to be right on the shin. Maybe he's been kicked a few times back there. Defenders seem to they seem to like that.
We're going to have 1 minute of stoppage time. Just announced here at Dixon Field on a beautiful evening for soccer. Starting to cool off. Not nearly as hot as it was when you guys were playing earlier today.
We were playing, it was an oven. It was baking. I felt like I was in a microwave. But it should be good. Second half should have a little bit more energy as it gets cooler. Now imagine playing in Qatar in the World Cup. That's going to be brutal.
That is going to be a unique World Cup.
Yeah.
With challenges that will never have been seen before, playing somewhere that hot.
I mean, we saw this World Cup. They had like a water break and stuff like that. In Qatar, they're gonna have to do like quarters.
They're gonna have to do like IV breaks.
Exactly.
But that's gonna do it for us for the first half. The Eagles go into halftime with a 1-0 lead. We're gonna take a quick 15-minute break, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Do you know who will answer when you call your merchant service provider? Our customers do. Personalized service and no annual contracts motivate us to earn and keep your business. Visit Allegiance Merchant Services online today to experience the Allegiance difference at AllegianceMerchantServices.com. Allegiance, the official payment processor for the Charlotte Eagles. Do you know who will answer when you call your merchant service provider? Our customers do. Personalized service and no annual contracts motivate us to earn and keep your business. Visit Allegiance Merchant Services online today to experience the Allegiance difference at AllegianceMerchantServices.com. Allegiance.
Camps with the Charlotte Eagles is the craziest, most insane thing that you'll ever love.
We teach them skills of the day.
We work on passing, shooting.
We try to have as professional of teaching as we can. We have fun days like Wacky Wednesday and Jersey Thursday. We have contests every morning and prizes, and we just have a blast.
It's so much bigger than the game of soccer.
Soccer camp, a place that you wouldn't really expect them to get Jesus, we can give it to them. It's just a way where we can love kids and we can teach them about the Lord and about how much He loves them.
They're all about the soccer, and then they love the Bible time.
The Elite Camp, we basically try and take our normal camps but step it up a notch. So Elite Camp, we try to pick up the quality, choose more challenging drills, and really try and push the kids athletically to see if they can improve and learn something new.
All girls camp is really fun. Guys aren't allowed. If any guys come close to the fence, they start screaming, "No boys allowed."
I've never seen more kids that have been more encouraging. Running up telling each other good job, giving high fives, it's really been a cool thing.
But at these camps, you know, the coaches really care about your kids.
But we take it very seriously, the instruction that hopefully they grow as a player in soccer. We come and we grow them as soccer players, as athletes, but also just as people. Things like honesty and sportsmanship.
How much can we invest in these kids' lives for the short period of time that we have?
There's tons of kids, tons of energy, and God works miracles through that week.
Well, sports ministry is like the gospel in action. You're able to speak the gospel, but you're also able to be an example on the field and doing something that you love.
Soccer is the #1 sport in the world. You can go anywhere, all you need is a ball. It's the perfect tool, in my mind, to share the gospel.
So many people in so many different cultures play sports, and soccer is probably the biggest because it's all around the world.
I think my favorite thing is actually playing matches against other teams, and then afterwards getting to share with them.
Being able to show the love of God while you're playing, and more so afterwards when you're able to talk with people one-on-one or even to a crowd, explaining why you're doing what you're doing.
Have those intentions of, okay, I'm going to use this not for myself but to benefit others. God just takes that and just expands it and just blows it up bigger than you could ever imagine.
Training is a core part of what we do to accomplish our mission, a season of training to prepare players for a lifetime of service.
We try to do what we call sports ministry training, where we're training our men to take their faith and put it on the field. That's through transformation.
Going through the material, the sports ministry training material, of just kind of a theology of sports ministry and learning more deeper about how God wants us to be in the context of sport.
That's the standard of excellence we're going to have.
We all enjoy the game. I love the coach, I love to play. All these guys are driven, they're competitive, but investing in these guys on the spiritual side, that's what I get excited about, and that I get to do it within the environment of soccer.
It's a phenomenal place to grow. From the staff around you, to the opportunities you get, to the leadership you can provide for the team, the perfect place to be as an athlete.
I love being a part of, I guess, just a Christian organization that is so fired up about God and using soccer as their ministry.
There are a lot of guys that are really serious about growing spiritually, and I've been mentored by several so far already.
I was challenged to not only improve myself on the field, I was able to grow in certain things off of the field as well. I don't think I'd be the person I am today without the organization altogether.
Being at camp with kids, I felt more alive than I've ever felt.
As we try to teach kids how to play soccer, to get better, we also share Christ with them, which is our main purpose here.
This camp of 200 is being led by two of our student leaders, and they're doing an excellent job giving them a practical experience in leadership.
Over in Japan, we do clinics for kids as well as playing different university teams. And even though there's a language barrier, playing soccer always helps break it down. And
I mean, especially when we go to Brazil, it's Portuguese as the language and then soccer. And immediately the kids just respond to us because we play soccer, we invest in their lives, and now they're open to hear about the gospel.
You go across the country and you pick up a ball, and within 10 minutes you have 50 to 100 kids surrounding you, and so just knowing that it can easily build relationships.
And how one sport, how one soccer ball and a smile can unite two teams who can't even communicate because we don't even understand each other. It's hard to describe, and being a part of it has been such a blessing.
I was really feeling that we were supposed to live alongside people, to move into neighborhoods, to move into cities that need Christ's light, and just let Christ's Spirit flow through us there. Sports ministry, being a sports minister, brought us into the neighborhood. We were using soccer to build relationships with the kids through soccer practice and playing soccer out on the field.
My heart is to see this whole community transformed by God's love. And so it started with us rolling out a soccer ball 2 years ago and bringing a couple snacks. And so we'd play soccer for an hour, hour and a half.
We are to have deep relationships with the families here and serve in whatever place that you can.
They're equipped to go take what they've learned and duplicate it, replicate it in another culture, back at their college team, wherever they go to coach. But we hope that by the time they spent the summer with us, they're empowered to go out and change the world and make life changers.
And so we just want to be intentional through a motivating platform that draws youth, it's a magnet to youth, to provide that platform to be able to share that message of hope with the youth of the world.
Camps with the Charlotte Eagles is the craziest, most insane thing that you'll ever love.
We teach them skills of the day.
We work on passing, shooting.
We try to have as professional of teaching as we can. We have fun days like Wacky Wednesday and Jersey Thursday. We have contests every morning and prizes, and we just have a blast.
It's so much bigger than the game of soccer.
Soccer camp, a place that you wouldn't really expect them to get Jesus, we can give it to them. It's just a way where we can love kids and we can teach them about the Lord and about how much He loves them.
They're all about the soccer, and then they love the Bible time.
The elite camp, we basically try and take our normal camps but step it up a notch. So elite camp, we try to pick up the quality, choose more challenging drills, and really try and push the kids athletically to see if they can improve and learn something new.
All girls camp is really fun. Guys aren't allowed. If any guys come close to the fence, they start screaming, "No boys allowed."
I've never seen more kids that have been more encouraging. Running up, telling each other good job, giving high fives, it's really been a cool thing.
But at these camps, you know, the coaches really care about your kids.
But we take it very seriously, the instruction that hopefully they grow as a player in soccer. We come and we grow them as soccer players, as athletes, but also just as people. Things like honesty and sportsmanship.
How much can we invest in these kids' lives for the short period of time that we have?
There's tons of kids, tons of energy, and God works miracles through that week.
Well, sports ministry is like the gospel in action. You're able to speak the gospel, but you're also able to be an example on the field and doing something that you love.
Soccer is the #1 sport in the world. You can go anywhere. All you need is a ball. It's the perfect tool, in my mind, to share the gospel.
So many people in so many different cultures play sports, and soccer is probably the biggest because it's all around the world.
I think my favorite thing is actually playing matches against other teams, and then afterwards getting to share with them.
Being able to show the love of God while you're playing, and more so afterwards when you're able to talk with people one-on-one or even to a crowd, explaining why you're doing what you're doing.
Have those intentions of, okay, I'm going to use this not for myself but to benefit others. God just takes that and just expands it and just blows it up bigger than you could ever imagine.
Training is a core part of what we do to accomplish our mission. A season of training to prepare players for a lifetime of service.
We try to do what we call sports ministry training, where we're training our men to take their faith and put it on the field. That's through transformation.
Going through the material, the sports ministry training material, of just kind of a theology of sports ministry and learning more deeper about how God wants us to be in the context of sport.
That's the standard message you're going to have, right?
We all enjoy the game. I love to coach, I love to play. All these guys are driven, they're competitive, but investing in these guys on the spiritual side, that's what I get excited about, and that I get to do it within the environment of soccer. It's a phenomenal place to grow. From the staff around you, to the opportunities you get, to the leadership you can provide for the team, the perfect place to be as an athlete.
I love being a part of, I guess, just a Christian organization that is so fired up about God and using soccer as their ministry.
There are a lot of guys that are really serious about growing spiritually, and I've been mentored by several so far already.
I was challenged to not only improve myself on the field, I was able to grow in certain things off of the field as well. I don't think I'd be the person I am today without the organization altogether.
Being at camp with kids, I felt more alive than I've ever felt.
As we try to teach kids how to play soccer, to get better, we also share Christ with them, which is our main purpose here.
This Camp of 200 is being led by two of our student leaders, and they're doing an excellent job giving them a practical experience in leadership.
Over in Japan, we do clinics for kids as well as playing different university teams. And even though there's a language barrier, playing soccer always helps break it down. And
I mean, especially when we go to Brazil, it's Portuguese as the language and then soccer. And immediately the kids just respond to us because we play soccer, we invest in their lives, and now they're open to hear about the gospel.
You go across the country and you pick up a ball, and within 10 minutes you have 50 to 100 kids.
And we're back for the second half of tonight's matchup between interstate rivals Wilmington Hammerheads and the host Charlotte Eagles. Charlotte with a 1-0 lead, coming off of a Ben Newton goal in the 26th minute. No substitutes to report so far.
And special congratulations to Charlotte Eagle and Air for being selected the Defender of the Year. with her 4-6 Eagles. Mariners and Charlotte captured the Southeastern Conference crown to advance to the championship weekend. National midfielder who dropped back into defense this season. Mayor tallied 4 goals while having the Lady Eagles advance to the playoffs for the 6th time in 7 years.
And we're underway. Nicholson going back to Cole, the man who's sitting on the yellow card. Now Ruggles trying to play it forward to Ackley, and it's going to go over his head. And Greer's going to let it go out for the goal kick. As the firm drums start up again.
That's right. And it's a little cooler, so it's not so terrible standing in the sun as it was in the first half.
It's going to be a throw in for the Hammerheads. Excuse me, Eagles. Fred over to Noonan. And Toby unable to control it. Ruggles playing it up to Ackley. Back to Parrott. And Musa. Nicholson now. Ruggles. Now back to Davidson. He goes back to Quillian Roberts.
Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Charlotte Eagles FC. Follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/Charlotte Eagles. Subscribe to our YouTube page at youtube.com/Charlotte Eagles FC. And we're on Instagram. Follow us at Charlotte Eagles.
Fairclaw. Now Yates. Guzman trying to thread it up. But no trouble for the Wilmington defense as Roberts goes over to Drew Ruggles. That's going to be a foul on Will Heaney.
Looks like no changes in formation. Both teams, no changes in lineups. Just picking up from where they left in the first half. Both coaches feeling pretty comfortable with what they have on the field right now. Sorry.
Ackley, now Parrott. Crossing it in, looking for Miller. A great defending from Johnny Leathers, but he lands hard.
Huge commitment by Leathers to not let Miller get on the end of that one. So far, Wilmington doing all the probing. Eagles sitting back a little bit, absorbing all the pressure.
Heaney's over to take the corner. Didn't curl quite as much as he had hoped. Now Ackley with the long-range shot right into the arms of Alec Can.
Hands attack man.
Now Thompson.
Oh. A little bit extra on that tackle. Just a little bit extra.
Ruggles just letting Thompson know he's there.
Yes.
As Jorge Herrera is over to take the corner. Again, Duckett and J.J. Greer coming forward into the box.
Ref signals the ball went out and back in. Couldn't tell from this angle. Apparently the bend was too much.
Linesman correcting Quillian Roberts. Roberts thought it was a free kick. Linesman telling him it was a goal kick.
Too much bend on the ball from Jorge.
And now Yates, Fairclaw defending. Yates holds up. Goes back to Newnham. Over to Herrera. Toby. Herrera. Herrera trying to feed it through. But Cole coming up with the block. Now Ackley and Duckett battling. Duckett coming out on top. Now over to Newnham. Herrera. Now Fred. Thompson. Leathers unable to get to it. Nice slide tackle from Drew Ruggles. Ruggles unable to keep it in. So that's going to be a throw in for the Eagles. Duckett coming up into the box again, and Ackley going to follow him to help defend against the tall Charlotte Eagles center back. Curled in. Ref calling a halt to things. Having words with Duckett and Ackley. Mostly Duckett.
A little bit of pushing and shoving in there. Duckett trying to get in front of the goalkeeper. Defender's not allowing him to.
Thompson throw in, headed out by Cole and cleared by Musa. Guzman over to Newnham. Newnham crosses it, but it's over and behind the goal for the goal kick. Roberts sending this one forward. Back pass to Alec Can. Musa winning the aerial battle there, but going to be an Eagles throw in. Leathers. Thompson. Thompson slipping past. Thompson slipped past Davidson, but good defending from Ashani Fairclaw, who was marking Darren Toby. So
and on this right flank is where they're getting a lot of success.
As you mentioned in the first half, it's Drew, attacking Drew Ruggles.
Drew Ruggles has been struggling. He's very solid when he puts in a tackle, but with numbers coming up, he's struggling to figure out how to stop the Eagles' wave on his side. They've been getting in behind him several times. At this level, we can have a foul throw. It's a foul throw.
The Guzman and Herrera families getting the chance started.
Hey, this game needs something. Needs something. But it's a matter of time before this game really opens up. The Hammerheads will be looking at least to get a goal back.
Going to have a substitution for Wilmington. Will Heaney's going to come off. And coming on for him is going to be number 19, Andre Campbell. So that's a defender for a midfielder. Swap.
Looks like he's settling up on the left side here. Probably they noticed the same thing we noticed. A little bit more help and cover for Drew Ruggles. But that's an interesting switch, though. For a team that's trailing in this game, to bring in a defender for an attacking midfielder.
He may be the type of player who is kind of a wing back.
Yeah.
Like we've seen Ben Noonan, who just...
Lots of players are like that. Lots of players are versatile. We call them utility players. They can play in any position. Could be listed as a defender. But he probably is a fantastic forward as well. Attacking player.
And that's something we've seen from Drew Yates, who's been listed as a forward and played as a forward before. And as I was saying, from Ben Noonan, who's played as a wide midfielder. As Ruggles takes that, and it's going to be a goal kick. Good crowd here tonight.
It's a big crowd.
Really attendance of 883 is the final figure for tonight. Thompson and Ruggles.
They're really taking it to Ruggles.
That's going to be a foul called on Drew Ruggles. Another substitution for Wilmington. Scratch that, no substitution yet. As Jorge Herrera gets ready to take the free kick, he curls it in.
And
Fred.
the smallest guy on the field with a diving header. Sneaking in up on the near post. It's a great ball. It just needed being nudged in.
And now we're going to have the substitution. It's going to be Mark Goldeman coming on for Yahya Musa.
So midfielder for a defender. Looks like Cole Troy is going back to right back. Troy. Positional change and personnel change at the same time.
And cross in, trying to connect. Ruggles being forced to head it beyond the end line. Going to be a corner kick.
Jorge serving in some really nice balls in there. At some point you would think the Eagles forwards and the attacker midfielders see Jorge down the flank and they just start making good runs, diagonal runs in the box. Come and meet those crosses. Jorge is a dead ball specialist. His delivery is deadly.
Herrera curls it in. Duckett won it, and now Herrera to Fred. And that's going to be out for the Eagles throw-in. Good play from Tom Parrott to win it and keep it from going out for the corner. But a fantastic ball.
It's not a delay of game. Referee got too excited on that one.
And Jorge Herrera not happy about it.
He's making him know it. Referee too eager.
Going to be another Eagles throw in.
But again, that's why he gets paid to be in the middle. I don't. He knows what he's doing.
Going to be a foul on Drew Yates.
Another substitution.
Third substitution now for the Hammerheads. Cody Ardnew is going to come on for Stephen Miller. Some fresh legs up top.
Cody's got to go to his name. Coach, probably banking on him to come in and add to that.
1 goal in 13 appearances.
Yes. Not the greatest of record.
There's Campbell getting past. Got past Thompson, but unable to get past Leathers. Ruggles up to take the throw in. Bounces it in.
Oh, it's a tricky throw in.
And Roberts coming forward to handle it. Well, that's going to be hair claw called offsides. Not often you see a center back called offside.
Yeah, I think the call is really he's coming back from offside. So he was offside, dropped back in, and then he joined back the attack. But yeah, interesting. Ooh.
Bad play from Duckett there.
Duckett. And he took a knock for his troubles there. Still struggling.
Mark Steffens and his staff may be looking to Matt Gold to come in for Duckett if Duckett can't recover. Gold and the rest of the outfield players are all warming up.
Because if he's hurt, you don't want to risk it.
Marcel is one of the fastest growing brands of snacks.
So he's limping again in the first half. I don't know if it's the same knock.
Sensations and the original intense flavor of Takis corn
It
chips.
just re-aggravated it.
From spicy kettle cooked potato chips to the most exciting flavors of Takis corn chips. Rico's is its exclusive distributor for the Carolinas.
Fred.
Strong man.
But immediately given away by Toby. And Parrott now. Cole. It's going to go out for corner.
The 3 substitutions by the Hammerheads definitely breathe life, right? Breathing life into the Hammerheads attack.
Ruggles is going to come over and take the corner. He curls it in low.
That's a tricky touch.
And that was Parrott who got a foot on but flicked it over the net. Goal kick.
And the Eagles need to get a little bit more organized right now. They seem to be all over the place. Not sure if they got rattled by the substitutions or what, but they need to get a hold of the game, settle down. And I think Jorge, that's what Jorge is probably trying to communicate to his team.
Goldelman with some tricky footwork, but his shot goes wide for another Alec Can goal kick. Charlotte Eagle forward David Gino well represented in the crowd with 7 jerseys being worn by his friends and family.
That's right.
Unfortunately, Gino not listed tonight, not dressing out, as Herrera tried to cross it. Now he's just outside the box, tries to flick it in.
Handball.
And handball given to Drew Ruggles.
Great ball by Jorge. Great run. A great ball by Jorge. They were always going to attack Ruggles. It was just a matter of time when Ruggles would fold.
You can see Ruggles, Parrott, the captain, and I started to say Nicholson was over there to have a talk. He's just getting a little bit of water, staying hydrated.
It doesn't really matter how much you dispute the call. Once the referee makes the call, it's done.
Jorge Herrera stepping up, trying to slot this home. Herrera with the shot, and he flicks it in. Cheeky move.
The baby celebration right there. There's a baby on the way, I guess. Congratulations, Big Daddy. A big goal. That is an important goal for the Eagles right there. Now the Hammerheads really have to push. If they're to get something out of this game, they really have to push. And the more they push, the more the game opens up for the Eagles. With the numerical advantage in midfield, the Eagles should see this game through, barring anything silly.
Jorge Herrera, that's now his 6th goal of the year. Team leading.
Leading like a true leader, a true captain in there.
Yates has 3, and then Wells Thompson, Sacheri, Guzman, and Noonan all sitting on 2 goals this year. Along with Guy Brandau and Zach Boggs, each with 1. Ruggles going to take the free kick. Shouting instructions to Godelman. McCann coming out with the punch. Campbell. One away by Thompson. Now Ruggles sending it back in. Fairclaw. And cleared by J.J. Greer. Fred again winning an aerial battle.
Smallest guy on the field. His
Thompson.
vertigo is ridiculous.
Bad first touch from Jorge Herrera. Goes over to Noonan, who gives it back. Toby back to Fred, who chips it forward for Ben Noonan on the wing. Cole defending Noonan. Now back to Herrera. Noonan again. A good sliding tackle from Cole. And a foul called on Fred.
The fans definitely not agreeing with that call. But you see why Toby is so important to this team. When he comes in and holds possession, the goal, the PK came from him coming in, dropping in, dipping in the midfield, receiving it, and finding Jorge in the space. And things happen. We got a PK. Again, he's linking his midfielders, finding space in front of the center backs, getting possession and linking the midfielders going through. So it's very, very important that they keep finding Toby whenever he shows up. That is a big collision right there. And he's always finding those pockets behind the holding midfielders and in front of the defenders.
Now Drew Yates going into Leathers, but Leathers is called offside.
Offside is called.
And Toby brings that part of his game because he played as a midfielder during his last stint with the Eagles. There is no true striker on the field for Charlotte.
Toby is a holding midfielder. Guy who never gives the ball away in the midfield. He's a high possession player. Strong, agile. You look at him and you think he's slow, but he's quick. He's very deceptive in his movement.
And Parrott curls this one in. And it's cleared out by Herrera. Guzman racing forward, trying to catch Ruggles off guard. Ruggles goes back to Roberts. Now Herrera, Guzman over to trying to connect with Herrera.
The Eagles just need to take care of the ball now. They're not chasing the game. Hammerheads are chasing the game. So the Eagles just need to take care of the ball, be patient. Things open up. The more they rush the passes, the more possession they give away, and it's easier if you give away possession in your own half for the Hammerheads to capitalize on that.
Guzman now to Toby.
Possess.
Yates over to Wells Thompson in a foot race with Drew Ruggles. And Ruggles is going to do the smart thing, kick it out for the throw-in. Eliminates the immediate threat, but now Fred on the wing.
Darren Toby in some discomfort. I don't think any of his teammates notice. But Darren Toby still in the back.
Nicholson. Parrott giving shoves to Johnny Leathers and Juan Guzman. And Duckett not happy about that. None of them happy with Paul Nicholson, who has smartly walked away from the whole thing.
He walked away.
It's now Wilmington captain Tom Parrott sticking up for his teammate.
But you know what? The ref has got it under control. Just have to trust him.
And he does give the yellow card to Nicholson.
It wasn't a necessary tackle. But again, Toby still struggling walking. Took his time from the tackle on the other side. Another chance for Hoyer Herrera to deliver another deadly ball.
The Eagles have Zach Boggs and Chase Wickham forwards listed on the bench, and also Guy Brandel listed as a midfielder, but can play up top, has a very attacking presence when he's on the field. Jorge Herrera. Ruggles winning the header. Good play there. And now Wells Thompson crossing it in, cleared out. Fairclaw and Nicholson combining for the clearance. Ackley back to Nicholson. Ackley goes back to Fairclaw. Ruggles getting into the box, getting past the defenders. Alec Can not happy.
That cannot happen. That is actually Andre Campbell, the substitute. Coming in with some quick fit. Games like this, emotions if not checked can win you or lose you games.
Nicholson, his cross, his corner, easily handled by Alec Can.
That's the biggest save of the game we've seen so far, isn't it?
Looks like we're going to have a Charlotte Eagles substitution here in a moment. Almost positive it's going to be Darren Toby being brought off. I think it's Zach Boggs.
Yeah,
it is Darren Toby.
Yeah, and he knows it. That tackle in the...
and it is going to be Zach Boggs coming on to replace Darren Toby.
Toby in a lot of discomfort in the earlier play after the tackle. coach is not taking any chances. But Zach brings you that energy, the effort, the fighting up top. Is going to be a nuisance to defenders. So totally different players, Darren and Zach.
Ackley cleared away.
And 2 injuries at the same time.
And 2 Eagles.
2 Eagles players on the
It's
ground.
Ben Noonan and I can't see who the other is, but Bilal Duckett is Juan Guzman. Bilal Duckett signaling to the bench for a substitution. And we are going to have one.
Substitution for the Hammerheads.
Speaking of, there's a substitution for the Hammerheads. It's going to be Paul Nicholson being substituted off. And it's going to be number 20, Jason Watson, checking in for him.
I wonder what it is with Juan Guzman. His ankle or something? Did he bend his knee on that tackle?
And this is going to be number 19, Guy Brendel, checking in for Juan Guzman. Brendel with 1 goal this year. Yates. Brandau, his first touch on the ball, successful over to Noonan. Now Yates again. Brandau over to Thompson, over to Leathers. Fred now. Leathers. And his cross is going to be off of Andre Campbell for the Eagles throw in. And another substitution for the Charlotte Eagles. Drew Yates is going to come off. Looks like it's going to be Matt Gold. It is number 13, Matt Gold, coming on.
An attacker for a defender for an attacker. I'll probably be playing now with 2 sitting midfielders and letting
as Boggs' header sneaks just past the post.
That was a good header. So Fred will be a little bit higher. Brandon and Matt just stay sitting in behind him, just in front of the 2 center backs.
Matt Gold back in his natural position as a defensive midfielder. Played center back all season last season for the Eagles and has made a couple starts on the back line this year before seemingly being replaced in the starting lineup by J.J. Greer. And Matt Gold's presence has been known in his super sub ability to come in and make an impact, linking up from that holding midfield position.
Now, what's interesting is that the Hammerheads haven't changed their formation. They're still in a 4-4-2. They probably feel comfortable, but the 2 forwards are staying a little bit higher now than they were in the first half. The Eagles just may want to be disciplined.
That was off of Boggs. Hammerheads throw in, taken into Tom Parrott. Watson over to Fairclaw. And sending it in. And great positioning from Alec Can. That's going to be a goal kick. Going to have another Charlotte Eagles substitution. It's going to be Johnny Leathers, who was expecting to take the throw in before realizing that was his number on the board. Johnny Leathers is going to be replaced by Drew Russell.
Like for like, a defender for a defender. Fresh legs in the back. The Eagles just want to solidify this lead and keep it. Zach coming back up from outside position. Now it's a game management issue now.
Going to be a free kick for the Eagles. Tom Parrott pleading the case for his Hammerhead teammates. And if I'm not mistaken, this is Drew Russell's first appearance for the Eagles this year.
Get in a few minutes, 10 minutes run, the team is already leading. Give him a taste of what the USL is all about.
Watson. A foul on Watson by Fred Sacheri, but Fred the one coming out worse for the wear.
Yeah, he caught one in the mouth there. Caught one on the jaw.
Ruggles sending this one forward. And that's going to be a goal kick for the Eagles. Brian Ackley just amazed at that. Definitely not happy.
It was either a weird bounce on the turf or somebody touched the ball.
It looked to me like it went off of J.J. Greer.
Yes. From this point of view, it looked like he touched it, but the referees are closer. That's why Brian is probably protesting that decision.
And the Vuvuzela makes its first appearance tonight.
There we go.
That was a positive from the World Cup this year. He didn't have the Vuvuzelas.
No humming bees.
Russell sending this one in. Can coming off his line to make the catch.
Merchant Services, the official payment processor of the Charlotte Eagles. Find them on the web at www.agents.com.
Now over to Wells. Thompson. Goes back to Brendow. He feeds it in to Fred. Over to Herrera. And that's going to be a foul called on Wells Thompson. And he's likely to get a card. Oh, my mistake. That's presented to Drew Russell. Making his name known in his debut.
Having an impact in the game.
Parrott sending this one in. Sneaks past the post.
Corner kick. The question is...
Linesman saying goal kick. Referee saying corner kick.
Definitely not on the same page.
Drew Ruggles swings this one in. It's going to shoot over everybody. And that's
another corner
solid play there from Christian Davidson to bounce that one off of J.J. Greer to win another corner kick. We're going to have 3 minutes of stoppage time. Now Brandau. A free kick given by the referee.
Again, Brandau and Matt Gold. Do they need to go forward? Do they need to attack? Do we need all those numbers up front? The risk they take by going forward, this game is getting a little chippy. If they both attack, then again, they're opening up counter-attack chances for Hammerheads. They need to be disciplined. Just stay in the back, in the middle, just stay in the hole. At least if one goes, one stays, they can all go forward. Let's keep the shape. See this game through. It's only 3 minutes left, 2 minutes left in the game. Right now, Met Gold is too high. It's a long sprint back.
As that was Mark Godelman presented with the yellow. Dangerous back pass. Greer going to have to hurry. Does get this one off, but it's going to be out for the Hammerheads. Throw in.
For the Eagles right now, anyway does. Anyway does. They just need to get hold of the ball and possess it. Hammerheads are chasing the game.
And Jason Watson's shot goes wide, and he has a few words for Guy Brandau.
And the Eagles will take that anytime. Restrict them from shooting from 20, 30 yards out.
So we're about halfway through the 3 minutes of stoppage time.
The Hammerheads looking more like a 3-4-3 formation right now, which turns into a 3-3-4. Just pushing numbers up. That's why it's important for Matt Gold and Brandau to maintain their shape, maintain their position.
That's going to be another goal kick.
And a few more seconds off the clock, and that's
going to do it. As the Eagles, in their last matchup against the Wilmington Hammerheads, as a professional side, go out on top. A fitting in for the Eagles, as they'll be moving down to the PDL next year, fitting into a great rivalry and a well-earned victory and a much-needed 3 points for the Eagles' playoff race. That's going to do it for us from Dixon Field. For Patrick Dacca, I'm Hunter Banks. Thanks for watching.